All right, here we are. Old math versus new math, right? This is my response to you, Matt, because you just posted a video talking about how ridiculous the new math is. So, I'm going to work these two problems because in all of these videos that people post, where they have this argument about new math being worse than old math, they post um, they post mathematical problems that are geared to make their point for them, right? In other words, they choose math problems they're going to look ridiculous when you work them out using new math. So now let me show you the reverse of that. Let me show you an example of a math problem worked out using old math and new math that makes old math look ridiculous. All right, so the problem is 1,000 minus 996. So let's start over here on the old math side. Here's our problem. 1,000 minus 996. The old math way of doing this is that we start here with 1,000 minus 996. Now, 0 minus 6, you can't do that. So you have to borrow from here. But that's 0 minus 9. You can't do that either. So you have to borrow from 0 minus 9 again. You can't do that either. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross this out, and we're going to make this a 10. And then we're going to cross out the 10, making it a 9, and we're going to make this a 10. And then we're going to cross out that 10, making it a 9, and we're going to make this a 10. And now that we've gotten 10 here, we can do 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 9 is 0. So we end up with 4 as the answer to our math problem. Now that took a lot of time to do that math problem using the old way of doing math. And what's even worse is we didn't learn anything about how we got there. Now let's look at how we do that with new math. Using new math, what we're going to do is we're going to take this 996 and we're going to figure out how we get to 1,000. So what we want to do from 996 is we want to go to the nearest 5. The nearest 5 is we get there by adding 4. So 996 plus 4 equals 1,000. Then we take that middle number and that's our answer, 4. Not only is this an easier solution to the problem, it also shows you how you got there logically, right? It's easier in this case just to add 4 to get to 1,000 than to go over to this way of doing it where you're crossing out and borrowing from other columns and you still don't have any kind of common sense reality way of explaining how you got there, right? So in this case, new math is actually much easier. The problem is that when people post these videos online bashing new math, one, they don't understand that new math is there to set you up for thinking logically about how math works so that when you get into more advanced subjects like calculus and geometry and things like that, when you're in those classes, you're going to need to understand not only how to do math, but how it works. But also, in those other examples, people pick the worst problems to display new math. Here I've done the reverse. I've picked a problem that shows you how ridiculous old math is and how common sense new math is. So I hope that helps you understand kind of both sides of the argument. I'm not saying I completely disagree that new math has, it's a little bit confusing, especially when you learn the old way. But what I am saying is it's not like it's just completely ridiculous and coming out of left field.